We're live.
Do we remember yesterday we said we're not doing it? We're not going to do the – they have to earn it. They have to earn – that's an old phrase. They have to earn it. They have to earn us talking about them in the postgame. They have to earn a postgame.
You know what I
guess
said?
in a sick fucking way. They did.
Said they have to earn it one way or the other. It's either got to be a win or a catastrophic loss, because I'm not going to just sit here and do postgames for 4-2 losses. So you know what? They heard me loud and clear, and they fucking earned it with a catastrophic loss. So you can go ahead like 7 fucking games into this godforsaken season, and you can go ahead and console the season. Fuck off with 2020. Console, you're up 8-2, and you blow this shit. Console, I'm fucking happy. That warning track ball, I'm happy it didn't go out because I want to just be fucking done with it. Console this shit. Bullpen is trash. Offense, the least clutch group of guys I could possibly see, and we know from the jump that we had nothing but DeGrom to start. This team is not good, and I don't know why we ever thought they were. When you look at how many glaring fucking holes there are, it's like, what was I even thinking? What did I even see? What did Ron Darling see when he said it would be a gross disappointment if they missed the playoffs? What did anybody see when I was reading that they were the best offense in the NL East? What was anybody thinking when I read, well, you know, Rendon left the Nats and the Braves lost Josh Donaldson. Neither team got better. The Mets can, they're upgraded. They've got guys who are going to come into their prime, into their own. No. What did anybody see when they were saying that shit? What did I see? What did you see? What's fucking wrong with us that after 35 fucking years that we can't see this coming a mile away in a fake season where there's more adversity than ever? We somehow thought that we were going to take advantage of it and be like clutch and slide in and get the job done. No, we're not a good team when things break perfectly our way. We weren't a good team when we had 5 fucking aces. We're not a good team when our back-to-back Cy Young winner goes on the fucking mound. We can't win games when we have the best pitcher of a generation on the mound. What makes any of us think we were going to win any games under any other circumstances? Of course I'm consoling. How many games into the season are we? What's our fucking record right now? This is the 8th game? I'm 8 into the season. I'm consoling. It's 8 games too late. I should have seen this coming from the fucking jump.
I wish coronavirus consoled the season. I'll just go out and say it. I'm rooting against the season now. I'm rooting for I want everyone to go home. I don't want anyone to have any happiness. That's what happens. Like in fantasy football, when I get knocked out of the playoffs, I root for everyone else to lose. Not for anyone to win. I just root for I just want everyone else to lose happiness. I want you all to lose fucking happiness.
I want the whole thing. For the first time ever, there's a chance that we can console the whole fucking season, and I would love nothing more, because you know what? If I don't get to have any fun, you don't get to have any fucking fun. Nobody gets to have any fucking fun.
Let's go, Manfred.
Right from the jump.
Yeah,
right from the jump.
Let's go, Manfred. Well, I mean, and it's so you can script this shit. It's exactly like when I consoled on the Jay Bruce Phillies game last season, where it's poetic. It has to do. You can't just lose a game. It's got to be catastrophic, and it's got to be karmic, and it's got to be like an ex-Met, Travis d'Arnaud, a guy who absolutely fucking sucked for us, who thrived elsewhere and now is back in the division, and he's the one to butt fuck us in a game where the pen blows it. It's like, it's scripted. It's fucking scripted. You cannot tell me. Can you guys just be honest with me? Am I on the Truman Show? Are you actors? Are you part of it? Because it seems goddamn impossible that these things continue to happen. Like the stars continue to align to butt fuck me as a Mets fan. It's just not even, it's not, the probabilities is like 1 in a trillion these things keep fucking happening.
The goddamn Jets to the console the size with the Mets, and the Knicks are just like a dead carcass that's been in the water for 20 years.
Do the Knicks even fucking exist? I don't even know. I've got Jamal Adams drama with my fucking horrible football team and their dumbass coach. I've got this Mets team that, I can't even I can't even really blame the team because they're just not good. I'm blaming myself and I'm blaming all of us for ever getting our hopes up. Like if we had a solid rotation and a great pen and we were like, yeah, maybe Cespedes is the missing link. And like we were there on the precipice, I would say like, man, this team is such a disappointment. And instead it's like, you look at it, it's like, yeah, why did you think this was going to be good? It's on me. It's on me for being an asshole. I'm consoling myself is what I'm doing because that rotation stinks. The bullpen we knew was going to be a disaster. The fact that we ever talked, I spoke so confidently. I almost put it in stone that Edwin Diaz was going to have a bounce back year because I thought it's impossible to not. And like, but why? What is wrong with me? Why would I ever get my hopes up? Why would I tell myself that? Why, after all these years, can I not see that, no, he's not going to have a bounce-back season because that doesn't happen here? Why would I think that Pete Alonso was just going to be the 53 home run polar bear again? Why did I think that Familia, I had hopes for Familia. How do I let this happen to myself time and time again?
Don't speak bad about Skinny Familia. That's my guy. Get the fuck off
That's
of
our one
Familia.
constant.
That's our one constant. That's how you know this season's completely fucked, is when Familia is untouchable in my mind. He's completely untouchable.
We said the other night, I don't know, last night, 2 nights ago, I can't even tell anymore, when I was like, why don't we go to Betances? Why don't we see what we got here? Because what if he's like what he was for the Yankees when he's healthy? Let's go to him instead of our fucking, I think it was Wilson who was like tired. Come on, let's go to him. Well, you got your fucking wish, Kevin, you big fat dumb motherfucker. You got Betances tonight, and it's a third of an inning and 4 fucking runs. Because of course it is. Of course Betances was not going to play like he did for the Yankees when he was healthy. Because guess what? He's on the Mets.
It says the same shit on the front of the jersey. It says New York, but it ain't the same. We ain't built the same. I hate to fucking say it. It built the fucking same. This was thank God. I don't usually say thank God for Yankees fans. Thank God for Yankees fans, though, because they told me, like, when Betances is off, you knew it. And I said, oh, that's tonight. I don't know why they didn't tell Luis Rojas, because I would have seen that one pitch. And I've been like, all right, we're just you can't even fucking take him out. It's against the goddamn rules to take him out. I gotta wait 3 batters. And as soon as that third batter reached base, just like he did, I'd go get the fuck out. And then I'd just say, who is gonna blow the game today? Today, Seth Lugo, the guy who ends up fucking putting the nail in the coffin. Nonetheless.
So fucking cruel and unjust. Like the one guy who actually is good or was good at least, who fucking knows? Maybe he's just gonna stink now. But the fact that it's him is a killer. The fact that we finally score and have like, it wasn't like a shootout where it was like, 3-2, 4-3, 5-6, 7-6-7. Like it was like we had a big fat fucking lead and we blow it. I mean, it's the perfect console where it's like everything went wrong, and even the things that, what do we always say, Clem? Even when things go good for the Mets, they go wrong. Like our 2006 season, best ever, but we have the Beltran called third strike. 2015, what a miraculous run, but we lose a World Series in which we led 89% of the time. Even when things are it's 2000 Subway Series, we make it to the World Series, we have to lose to the fucking Yankees. Even when things are good, they come up bad. So even on nights where you have an 8-2 lead and you put up 11 fucking runs, 10 runs on 13 hits, you still lose because in the end, it's Final Destination. You cannot escape the console. You cannot escape the bad. So in my mind, I've gone to Consolina.
Second Yo and Cano started hitting the ball, that should have been like the tip-off. That's when like the hairs on the back of your neck start standing up and you're like, there's something wrong going on here. That's how we're getting the lead. Then they bring in Lugo, who's like the savior, the guy that you could always rely on, and he can't find the plate. That's it.
You know,
like, it is the perfect console.
We were in the horror movie at Camp Crystal Lake, and we're banging the hot girl. And you're like, this is too good to be true. I'm having sex with the beautiful camp counselor. This is the best night ever. But in your head, you should be saying, well, wait a minute, I'm a Mets fan. So good things, they don't happen to us. Nice things don't happen. So if you're fucking the pretty camp counselor, you're probably going to get your throat slashed by Jason Voorhees in a second. And that's what happened tonight. I was having
That's a better situation.
no, and then I got fucking stabbed.
I would take that over us.
The next slit doesn't even describe. This game was a fucking rusty hook through our fucking midsection, and we're just going like, and we're just bleeding out for fucking 2 straight minutes as we're splattering blood all over the poor girl, screaming the entire time. That was gut-wrenching. It was like 6 innings. How many innings was that comeback? It was like a 13-inning comeback, and you knew how it ended.
You know what? We're going to do a little, like, fucking the Conan skit. We're just going to...
I thought you were going to shoot yourself in the face. I thought...
Just do it. Just fucking do it. Just turn it on. Turn it on.
We're getting kicked off of Twitter.
And of course, I mean, I texted you guys. I texted my mom. You knew it. When Darno was up, you knew it. Because that's what happens. That's what happens.
I was out tonight. I came through the door. Both my parents go, we were watching the game for a half an inning. We shut it off because as soon as we turned it on, they scored 3 runs. They were like, nope, we're not watching the game.
I got back from Friday Night Pints, and I'm seeing everybody's tweets. I saw Alyssa Rose tweeting, we deserve this. And she's right, even after the fact. It was a cold take, but it ended up being correct because we actually deserve this. We all deserve this. We don't deserve nice things, not because we're bad people, because we're dumb people. Because we're idiotic, and we just turn our hearts over to these people, to this organization, to this universe that we know is going to smash it with a hammer and then put those remains into a blender and blend them up and then feed them to the dog, and he's going to eat it and shit it out and then eat that again. That's why we deserve this.
The fact, and like you said, the Cano stuff, the bullpen, and it was in Atlanta. We we should have just been like fucking just cancel before the first pitch even happened, get it out of the way, just so we didn't have our hearts slowly ripped out of our chest that entire game.
Look at this fucking. Can you guys see this box score? Look at all those numbers. 1 for 5 with a home run, 2 for 5, 2 runs scored. Davis 2 for 4 with a home run. Cespedes 1 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs. Cano with a home run. Everybody crooked numbers everywhere. And yet I knew at like 10-5, I think it was, or 8-5, I remember I was on the phone with my mother, and I said to her, I wish I texted this. I said, we're going to need 10 runs to win this game. And then I said, we're going to need 11. And I knew it.
And in the end, we somehow needed 12. I mean, this is the thing. Like we were texting Kyle and Super Producer BC. We're like, do we go live tonight? And I was like, I'm only in if they win comfortably. I'm not coming in. And the only other way it could have been done, this is the only way I was coming on for a loss, is if we had a console. It's a live console. And you know what, though? I want to say this. I am so happy for you. Just let it go. Let all this anger out of the heart. This is the console cast. The console cast is where this is the funeral. You're burying the team. It's the wake. It's the funeral. You're saying your goodbyes. You're thinking of all the good times you had in the past week, which was like 2 fucking games that was actually fun. And then you say goodbye and you get to enjoy what will surely be a bunch of misery if the season even lasts past Monday. I'm sure we'll have someone get corona.
You know,
I'm sure
it's just DeGrom starts. That's it. That's all I'm looking forward to. I just want to see DeGrom, and I would like to see if the team could possibly score a run at some point in the future when he pitches. That's
what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go tamper with some tests. I'm going to have it say that Jacob DeGrom has coronavirus because I don't want him to pitch anymore. Yeah. I want to put him in a bubble.
Save it.
I want to save him for the Uncle Steve regime. I mean, more than ever, Clem. Uncle Stevie is coming.
He's coming. It's fraudulent anyway. Uncle Stevie is coming. Come on, chat. Uncle Stevie is coming. The season is fraudulent
anyway. Put it in there.
I can't decide whether the coward in me wants the league to be canceled. And that way, misery loves company. And if we can't win, nobody wins. But I also need, you need to feel it. You got to let it burn. It's like that's the easy way out. And I want everybody to feel the console, to fucking remember. Like, we need one last good console, and we got it before Steve Cohen comes and hopefully changes our lives forever. So sink it, let it soak in, let it sink in, and remember this feeling. For the young bucks, you have to know what a console feels like. For the old heads, remember, this might be our last one ever. Let's pray to fucking God that we're at least a legitimate. No, of course you're going to have consoles, but you're not going to have these embarrassing ones. If we lose, we lose under this Uncle Steve regime. If he's spending and we're a good team and we lose, it happens. But hopefully this is the last console where you look around and you say, this is not a complete team at all. We're missing huge pieces, and even our good players are playing out of position. We have a bunch of Band-Aids on a gunshot wound. So let's have one last good old console for me. You know, this is an emotional moment for me, Clem. I've been consoling for the better part of like almost 15 years now. Shout out to Doherty who invented it. But in my heart, even before I knew the term console, I've been doing it my whole life. And I pray to God this is my last one that's truly embarrassing. So maybe, you know, it's like when you got to hit rock bottom as like a junkie or something. Like you can only start to go up once you truly hit rock bottom. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it.
This is it. Rock bottom. And when Uncle Stevie comes, there will be no console moment. It will just be we're mathematically eliminated. Like good old-fashioned baseball teams. Like baseball teams will be eliminated mathematically. Numbers will do the job for us instead of that goddamn – it's like a fucking demon comes down from the sky and you're just watching like a slaughter on your television. Every fucking season. There's just one day. We knew the big one last year. We called the big one like 3 months before the big one happened. Every fucking year. Travis d'Arnaud in Atlanta with a fucking 8-run fucking 8-2 lead, whatever the fuck it was. It's unbelievable how this happens every single year.
Every single time. Wait a minute, Clem. Have you consulted?
I don't know.
I love it. No. Don't apologize. I love it. It's only 8 games in. We need some people.
Dude, I want to see if I can make it to Monday.
Be idiot.
Here's the thing. No. Because the Marlins haven't even played a game. They've only played 3 games. If we cut them before a team continues their season, like that's just.
Wait, have the Marlins really not played a single game?
They've played 3.
Oh, they played the opening series. That's right. That's right.
Technically, you know, I've consoled. Last year, I consoled in June. You know, it was many more games in, but I think aside from seasons that were completely lost, where I knew we weren't even competitive, where you know there were times where I could console for the next 3 seasons, knowing you know from 2009 to 2012, like console right away. I think this has got to be my earliest console for a team that was supposed to be allegedly a threat. Now, I mean, you know what's going to end up fucking me here is like they decided to let half the goddamn league in the playoffs. So, I mean, we're in uncharted waters, unprecedented territory. As always, I pray that my console comes back to bite me in the ass. But like I said, I almost needed to get a console in case the season was canceled because, like I just said, I needed to have one last one before. It's like breakup sex in a way, you know. It's like we're done. This relationship's over. We're gonna smash one more time and like tie fucking nooses around our necks, jump in the bathtub with a toaster, and then maybe I can be reborn as you know, Uncle Stevie's fucking. Oh my god!
Could you imagine if he doesn't buy the team?
Kyle, don't you fucking say that.
I need it by like the end of August. If it doesn't happen and there's no announcement of like this is like pending, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Even just the quietness for the last couple weeks is scaring me. Although I really think we all should be rooting for no season because the Wilpons will have to work quickly then. Like they already lost $600 million with the original bid. And I think that every time, you know, they run the risk of losing TV revenue and the thought of just putting loudmouths and beer money on for the next like 24 hours a day for the next 6 months. I mean, they're the worst businessmen ever. That this bid just has to be increasingly decreasing, right? Like, especially if A-Rod can no longer afford it. With by the way, whatever the fuck that ruling was down in Florida, where his brother-in-law can sue him for like divorce shit now. I mean, that's as a divorced guy, that's fucking criminally. That's unconstitutional. But if the A-Rod bid is gone, or not enough. And Steve Cohen is really the only guy that they can lean on. Every single day that they wait, it's more money out of their pocket, which is not surprising because they're the worst businessmen ever. But it's so scary that maybe they'll just be like, no, we'll take the bid that's like half. Like they're just the fact that it's almost like when you're in court and the jury's taking a long time to deliberate, and it's like, well, that means that it's not going to go your way. That's what's going on right now. The longer this drags out, the more that I think some funky shit's going on where they're going to do the wrong thing and not just take the money. So if I get a Counsell here and then that deal falls through, I mean that I honestly, if the Steve Cohen deal falls through, again,
I don't like where we're heading. I don't like where this is heading right now. I just want this to be out.
No, I think I'm out. I don't think I will be a Mets fan anymore if that happens. I don't think I want to be. I would love to tell you guys that I've got the heart to stick with it, and I'm a father, and I would like to raise my kids and enjoy baseball. I don't think I will do it. If 2 times now the Steve Cohen cock tease, if he leaves me with blue balls again, I don't think I can ever come back. Not with the same fervor. I'll put on games. I'll watch them. But I don't think I can ever give my heart over again if they do that to me.
No, that's fair.
A Truman Show, right? If you guys, if this falls through a second time, it came out of the clouds. It was the best thing to ever happen to us. Clem broke the news. It was all our thing, and then it disappears, and then they tickle the balls and bring it back on. And if it falls apart again, that's like the worst thing that's ever happened to the Mets out of all their other bullshit. That's got to be the worst. So
I just saw Steve Cohen is trending in New York. A guy one shining Mets. I don't know if it's legit, but it's trending in New York. Steve Cohen. That's where we are. We're rooting for a fucking businessman to fork over billions of dollars. That's all we have left right now is one fucking thing. It's fucking we're in the end game now. We're in the end game now. This was the end of hope for regular baseball wins. We are now in the end game. Steve Cohen or bust.
Meanwhile,
if we make the playoffs, it's going to be so awkward.
Oh, God. If we make the playoffs, we're going to get absolutely eradicated. I mean,
we're going to get fucking run out of town. Whatever town it is, it's going to be some team that's a joke, and we're still going to get crushed, and it won't even matter.
You know what is so telling? When I was talking to The Rocket on radio, and he was like, is it weird to you guys, that I was like most confident in winning the DeGrom matchup of this series? And I was like, no, not at all. I was like the least confident in winning that game because as backwards as it is, that's what happens to the Mets. Of course, we're going to win the fucking Michael Wacha start and we're going to blow the fucking DeGrom game. And the one game where we do put up a bunch of crooked numbers and put up a fucking 10 spot, we're going to lose that because we're in the upside down. All things are backwards and nothing can be good. So as I speak through this, gentlemen, why would I get my hopes up that the Steve Cohen deal will go through? Why would I think that? Why do you think that? Why are we saying Uncle Stevie is coming? He's not coming. The only coming he's doing is in his fucking bed underneath some $150 million piece of art. He ain't coming to us.
Can you imagine
what happens?
Can you imagine what his thread count is on his bed? It's probably infinity. Infinity thread count for his sheets.
It's got to be like, you know what he's going to do? He's going to be like, A-Rod, what's your bid? Like 1.7 billion? All right, I'm going to go get some 1.7 billion count threads. Your biggest money is my thread count.
That money is just like a different level. I remember Jay-Z said that he told some story. He went to the hotel that he's always been going to, and some Russian oligarch brought him to a different floor that he didn't even know existed on that hotel, and he'd been staying there for 10 years. And he's a billionaire. Like, that is the level of Steve Cohen. And if we get him, there's no telling what we could ultimately, achieve.
But hear yourself, Kyle. Yeah. How old are you, Kyle?
29.
Yeah, all right. So you've been around. You know.
I've been around the block. I've been broken by this team.
That why are we all getting our hopes up? Why would we say that? Yes, of course. If Steve Cohen buys this team, he's gonna turn Flushing Meadows into fucking Wakanda. It's gonna be like a technological masterpiece that you can't even see unless you undo the force field. It's still gonna look like Chop Shops, but then Mets get inside and it's like living in the future. Of course, all of that, yes, but that's That's not going to happen because they think what happened to me.
This is the thing. This is the chicken or the egg. Like, do you get excited for Steve Cohen because it's the only thing that can possibly save us from doom? Or do you just say it's never going to happen until it actually happens? That's a fair question.
Sentence with, do you get excited? That's it. Don't ever get excited for the Mets. Bar on the ground. Dig a hole. Put the bar in the hole. Fill the hole in. Put the bar under the ground. That's where it belongs. And that's where I belong. Put me in the dirt. Kill me and bury me so I don't have to deal with any of this ever again.
Put you with the bar, light you both on fire, piss on the ashes, then give the ashes coronavirus is basically our fucking our plan here. I mean, I'm down for that. I don't know. I honestly, I taught my kids, I taught AJ the Let's Go Mets chant 2 days ago. And now I like completely regret that. I've started him on this progression to looking like you after a 30 fucking run blown game going a lead.
Last time I'm watching the game, I've watched with Shay a little bit. Keegan was still a little too young and too rambunctious to sit down. But Shay, she's watched like a couple at bats with me before, and I try to explain to her the situation. She comes out last night and she sits down on the couch with me and she says to me, "Daddy, are you watching golf?" And you know what I should have said? Yes. I should have just said, yep, this game right here that you're watching, it's called golf. This is not the Mets. It's not baseball. I want to protect you so you don't know anything about this. Yes, it's golf. I should have said that. And instead, you know what I said? I was like, it's the Mets and it's past your bedtime, but do you want to watch a little baseball with Dad? And you know what she said? Thank God. She said, no. She doesn't have it in her blood. Thank the Lord. Because I'm just ready to slit my wrists and let all this Mets blood out. So
AJ said golf too, and I corrected him like a fucking schmuck, and I said, no, this is baseball. And he watched it with me because it was past his bedtime as well. And then he stayed with me for like 2 fucking innings, and we did the Let's Go Mets and who, and I slapped his belly on the who, and he even had the who Let's Go Mets chant. I have infected him. I have basically given him the Mets. The flushing virus is what I've given him.
I'm going to call
you guys are giving me a playbook for when I have kids.
Yeah.
Literally a playbook. I'm like, what are you watching?
Yeah,
this isn't for you. Leave the room.
I'm calling CPS right now. I'm going to say I got an abusive father who's just, he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, God.
The kids walk in the room. Kyle's going to turn off the Mets for like porn. He's going to be like, oh, shit. I was watching porn, kids. Don't worry about it. Not baseball. Definitely not baseball.
Oh my God!
This was bad. This was a bad one. I mean, they're never good. The consoles are seldom good. This one was really fucked up, fellas. This one was
came on you so quick. It was like you looked down for a second. Next thing you know, it was like, oh, it's a 2-run game. Oh, we're losing. Like that was quickly.
You know it when you see it. You know when you see it. And I actually, in years gone by, I would have pulled the trigger as soon as Darno hit that ball, but I figured. Who knows? You know, maybe you get a Yo bomb. Maybe you get an Alonso fuck bomb somehow. Who knows? Let me give it a try. And yet and still, like, why would I ever even give myself an extra inning of hope? Of course they weren't going to fucking score. I should have pulled the trigger right then and there. I should have pulled the trigger months ago. I should have pulled the trigger years ago. I should probably just pull the trigger in real life.
Yeah, pull the goddamn trigger, you coward. You fucking coward. This offense is fucking fucked up because – it makes you think. You just look. You're like, there's always like one guy who's coming up that can somehow tie the game up. And you're like, oh, as long as Pete gets a hold of one, Yo gets a hold of one. Even Cano, he's him pretty well so far. And then they always just let you down. It's
so much worse. I would rather have like Chris Woodson or like dudes from like the mid 2000s. You're like, this guy. Yes, exactly. Mayberry, like people that you knew weren't getting hits.
Conforto's the best example. Conforto is a great young player, 25 homers, like 3 seasons in a row, hit over 30 last year. He's coming into his own. He's probably going to be a consistent like 35 home run guy. If the game's on the line or if it's late and close, I mean, just go sit down. 3 strikes, go sit down. You have no shot. And when you know that's the way, and when tonight when your only hope was fucking Cano and Cespedes going in the time machine, you can't have it. It's like, I know McNeil's a great hitter. We saw what Pete Alonso can do. We got Conforto. We got guys who can hit, but they just don't. And when you got like Dom Smith sitting on the fucking bench, and you just got like a guy like maybe McNeil would be more comfortable if he was playing his normal position, and then that would permeate the rest of his game. And Pete, you can't use his. Why even bring a glove out there, Pete? Yeah. Why bother? I mean, it's like all of these things that kind of we got lucky with last year is like, yeah, no, it doesn't happen again. Not 2 years in a row. That's the sickening part. Is like you're looking back, you're like, oh, all of those things were the outlier. Right. That's like, the worst part. I mean, like, what if when Jeff McNeil was batting like 350 and then he went on that schneid and ended up batting like 320? What if that's the norm? What if Pete Alonso was the fluke? What if
You know what? I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a positive side of this.
Fuck you, Clay.
I'm just happy. Think of it this way: Gary, Keith, and Ron, they would have to be stuck in some Atlanta hotel right now, just fucking. Keith wouldn't give a shit. Ron would probably be out doing whatever. Gary would be just crushed like us, and he'd be in some fucking hotel with fucking the maid knocking on the door and doing whatever. I'm happy. Keith would be motherfucking him at the bar while he's throwing down whiskeys.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you guys are fucking pussies.
Ron needs to settle down with their like overturning predictions, like set in stone.
Yeah.
No, he didn't touch him, and then it's like, oh yeah, he definitely did. I mean, that play at home,
that dude was out.
Yeah, he was out. And I mean, I guess not conclusive, but like kick save and a beauty there by Betances. Like, he definitely got his foot off the plate. And that, that could have changed the complexion of the game, but probably not. Probably fucking not. So, I mean.
That's the other thing, too. Now, every time Rojas fucks up, it's like, well, I wish Carlos Beltran was our manager. So now we have to deal with a manager situation from a guy who never managed a fucking game. This is the kind of hellscape bullshit that no other franchise has ever dealt with, because no one just fired a manager a month after they hired him.
You can't even blame him, because like
with the team,
he's like pushing buttons that we're talking about the night before. Like, why didn't he do this? And then the next night he doesn't. And you're like, well, that sucked.
Yeah,
like,
right.
What are you supposed to do? Like, he just does exactly what you'd expect him to do. And you're like, well, that's wrong. Like, it's never the right idea. Makes no sense. The lineup, I like Jimenez. Jimenez looks good. But you know what?
He's a great little player.
Once we start him, though, we're gonna be like, well, why is this guy playing? Like, that's like the way the season's gone.
He is definitely like the dude who, like, give him 500 at bats and all the warts start to show, But yeah. I mean, that's the point. That's exactly the point, Kyle. It's like, don't get positive about anything, because it's all gonna go wrong. It's all gonna go wrong. Oh, and don't worry, fucking Rick Porcello on the mound. Like, yeah, whoa.
Hey, listen, it was the grab bag. We got a scorpion, but it was like we got the little pincers. He didn't sting us with the tail. Like, he got us. We're like, fucking scorpion in that bag. What the fuck? But it wasn't the stinger, so it was like not a fatal wound. He didn't murder us. He kept us in the game for a 10-2 lead with a 10-2 lead or whatever, and then it was just everyone else fucked us too. I mean, he finished with 4 earned, right? I think they gave up 2 after he left. Yeah, 4 earned.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is like, you have to capitalize on those, because the next time around he's going to get shelved again, because that's what he is. Yeah. So it's like, if you don't win those starts, you're certainly not going to win his bad starts. And if you don't win,
he can't start again.
You're not going to win anything. And when you do hit, 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned run, 3. So I mean, can't really put it on Rick. It's like, and when you do score runs, they're going to find a way to lose it. So even New York Mets, even when things are good, they're bad. So how do you combat that? How do you deal with that when everything you ask for aligns and it still goes wrong? When everything you demand your manager to do, he does, and it still goes wrong. There's literally no hope. There's one shred of hope.
There's one hope. There's one hope.
And that's like the definition of putting all your eggs in one basket. I took all of my eggs and I delivered them to fucking Greenwich, Connecticut. And Steve Cohen has all my eggs, and he can either take them and he can paint them up real nice like it's Easter, Clem. He could dip them in the fucking what do they call it? Paws or whatever.
Paz.
He could get the vinegar out, he could put the eggs in, and he could take my eggs and he could put them in the little copper thingy that you bend. It's like just designed.
Some stickers. Maybe write something in crayon, the NY logo.
And you know what? Maybe he would even put half of it in blue and flip it over and put half of it in orange. And would have this nice, beautiful blue and orange. And he would put a sticker on it that says Mr. Met's face and it says LFGM. He could do that with my eggs. Or he could take my eggs and he could shove them up his ass. And he could have my eggs crack in his ass. He could take them and he could smash them on the ground. And he could turn them into an omelet. And he could just beat my eggs like it's my brain until I'm dead on the inside. So
you can throw them at you.
What do you want to do with my eggs, Steve? It's up to you, Steve. You want to do a little hard-boiled eggs, a little egg Benedict? You want to cook an omelet? You want to just win some fucking World Series? It's up to you, Steve.
It's all we need. It's all we need. It's such an easy fix. It's the fact that it fell apart. The fact he came into our lives, got the team, it falls apart, and now we are back here in this fucking low moment, this rock bottom. And now we have to wait another month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever the fuck.
If he doesn't buy this team, it's going to be like Ray Finkel's cabin. Like, we're going to see his face on the fucking crochets. With KFC giving me those crazy eyes. Like, he's got to buy this team. There's nobody else that could possibly do it. And God forbid nobody gives a high enough bid that the Wilpons are like, you know what, we're going to pass on this for this year. That's it. Then you're done. There's no coming back.
I really think it's Steve Cohen or
nobody
or Bradley Wilpon. Like it's all going to fall apart. And that I promise you, if Steve Cohen falls apart, but like I don't know, fucking Bezos swoops in or something, you know, even the A-Rod group, maybe something good can happen. But if it's somehow the Wilpons, I sincerely mean this. I'm out. I will not.
Same.
I will. This podcast, Clem, you can do it if you.
Oh, perfect timing. He froze right on.
No, honestly, for me, there's only two people I want to own the team as of 2021: Steve Cohen or Jeff Wilpon. I either can go all in or all out. I don't want anything in the middle. I'm done with half measures. I don't want these fucking Blitzer Harris guys. That is the epitome of a fucking Jason Bay signing. It's a half measure. I want either Cohen or Wilpon. No in between. All in, all out.
All out. Yep.
And I'm out of baseball. I'm not on the Mets. I'm out of baseball. See ya. I'll watch the games on TV here or there. I don't root for a fucking soul. You know what I got? Let me show you guys what I got right now.
What do you got, Clem? Show the people, Clem. Show the people. What do you got, Clem? Show the people.
We got a hobby?
I hope he doesn't come out with a gun.
Oh, I got Chelsea. Chelsea. I fucking love this team. All they do is win. They're signing fucking free agents left and right. Listen to this. They made the champ. They finished in the top 4 in the EPL. That means they're in the Champions League. So they play all the best teams in Europe in a tournament next year. Then tomorrow they got the FA Cup final. What the fuck is that? Didn't know. Turns out it's this huge tournament in England. It's like the biggest tournament in the world. We could join it, start a soccer league, a soccer team in England, and just fucking make it. These guys are in the finals tomorrow. These guys are so fucking awesome. This is what I have. I can leave the Mets right now for EPL. So listen, Rob Manfred, you gap-toothed motherfucking dickhead. I'm out of here if you don't give it to Stevie. And a bunch of these fucking idiots in the chat who are fucking living and dying and don't want to be a part of this shit anymore are coming with me. We're out of this shit. Get me out of here.
Take me with you, man. Take me with you. Let's fade to black.
That's it.
Console decision.
Damn it.
Clem, you can keep doing this to yourself. Kyle, keep doing this to yourself. I will be here waiting with open arms when you guys come to your senses. I will say I told you so, but I will be here for you because that's what we do here at Mets Fans Anonymous. That's what you do as a sponsor. I can lead a horse to water. You guys can drink it whatever you want. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a wrap. It's a console. I'll still watch this team. I'll still get excited when Jacob deGrom pitches well. I'll still argue with Yankee fans. I'll still get excited. Gimme Jimmy. I want to see what he can do. But as far as me turning my heart over to this team, night in and night out for the next 52 games, not doing it. Not doing it. And I don't think I should have to do it. I don't think you should have to do it. I don't think any fans should feel pressured to do it. I think that we all should just take a step back. You know what we should do? There are worse things in the world, fellas. 150,000, 3,000 people died, okay? A lot of people out of work. It's been a rough year. This is just putting more shit on top of the pile. But I'm going to just say my prayers tonight. I'm going to do a little Hail Mary, full of grace. I'm going to do a little Uncle Stevie is coming because this season is fraudulent anyway. And I'm not even going to say it because you know what?
I'll say you don't have to.
You don't have to. You do not have to believe. There is no rules anywhere that says you have to believe. There's no handbook. There's no Mets Bible. There's no membership card that says step 1 must believe. There is no reason to believe. There's no God. There's no things are good. There's nothing to believe in. So you do not gotta believe.
We gotta believe though, Kyle. We gotta believe.
Yep.
We gotta believe.
Console.